Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Thursday evening, November 28, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so if we take a look at the US National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook, we can see that as of their latest update that just came out at 6:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that came out 2 hours ago, considering that it's 8:25 p.m. right now. Tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. So it doesn't look like we're going to be getting Tony, Valor, or William anytime soon, and we're going to be wrapping up the hurricane season in a couple of days. But that doesn't stop us from taking a look at the latest supercomputer model runs. We're going to be focusing our attention on the Euro model, and we're going to be looking out to the next 7 days to see what's going to be happening. And then we're going to be putting it side by side with the Euro, with the GFS model to see if there is any consensus. So keep your eyes peeled. We have Jamaica right here. We have the timestamp right here. So as we continue to go out into Friday, we still are going to be affected by this trough. We see a lot of moisture in and around the island of Jamaica. 12 or 15 Z on Friday is actually 10 a.m. on Friday. And we still see a lot of greens represented from 1, maybe all the way up to 3 inches of rainfall for portions of the island of Jamaica. What does the GFS show for the same time period? Friday, 7 a.m., rainfall in and around the island. Friday, 1 p.m., rain still around the island. So clearly both the Euro and the GFS must show that we're still going to be getting in on some amount of rainfall across the island. As we head into Saturday, clearly we're going to be getting in on less rainfall, but rainfall is still expected. 12Z on Saturday has some greens that represents rainfall in and around the island, but we see more whites, especially across central and western Jamaica. Let us see what 12Z on the GFS is showing. Something similar, rainfall in and around the island, but not as widespread across the island, more whites than anything else. Heading into Sunday now, definitely more whites, even though we have some pitchy patches here and there of isolated shower across the island. 18Z on Sunday, that's 1 p.m. we see some rainfall across the island. That's usual afternoon rainfall. Let's see what 18Z on Sunday on the GFS looks like. Don't even see much. Looks like the rainfall could be sometime after 1 p.m. though. Continuing, we head into Monday. Less rainfall, more so isolated showers. Most of the rainfall seems to be down there across the southwestern Caribbean, affecting eastern Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. Heading into Tuesday, not much different. And we see that the rainfall is starting to plague mainly northeastern parishes in Jamaica. We're talking about St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland Tuesday into Wednesday. So we're starting to feel the effects of that frontal system and the flow from the northeast. And we see that affecting us even into Wednesday, especially Wednesday, December 4th. Definitely going to be affecting us. And then we're going to be stopping it right there at the end of the 168 hours. That's 12Z on Thursday, December 5. That's 7 a.m. And we see the moisture right there across Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, portion of northeastern Jamaica, portion of northern Hispaniola going to be feeling the effects of that frontal system as well. Let's see what the GFS is showing going out as we head into December 3. Not much change. We see the same thing like what the Euro was showing. Lots of rainfall plaguing northern Jamaica. So we're starting to get on the northeasterly flow. Heading into Wednesday, we still see something similar. A lot of rainfall coming for you guys in Portland, St. Mary, and St. Anne. Maybe even spilling into section of Trelawney, St. James, and Hanover, maybe even spilling into sections of some southern parishes, especially during the afternoon. So look out for that. So we're stopping it right here. The end of the 168 hours. We're talking about Thursday, December 5 on both the Euro and the GFS models, and we see that we're going to be in for a change in the weather pattern. More of a northeasterly kind of flow through the windward passage. Lots of moisture with that frontal system. Definitely going to be bringing some amount of a rainfall to portions of especially northern Jamaica. And the accumulated precipitation forecast confirms this. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Thursday, December 5. And we see the dark reds, we see the purples, and we see it especially across the northeast. We're talking about St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland on the Euro. GFS showing some of it, but mainly across eastern Jamaica. We'll see exactly how that unfolds. We also see that the trough is expected to bring a lot of rainfall. It's definitely being pushed down towards the southwest into Central America. So Honduras, that has been lashed for the past couple of weeks by Tropical Storm Sierra, is now getting in a lot of rainfall from this trough. We see the purples, we see the pinks into the salmon colored, even into the light blues that represents anywhere from 3 all the way up to maybe 12 inches of rainfall for there. Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and northwestern Panama might get in on some of the action. If you have friends or relatives in Panama, find out how they're doing and let them know that a lot of flood rainfall is coming. If you have friends or relatives in Portland, St. Mary, let them know that a lot of rainfall is coming their way. We're talking about the dark reds into the purples. We're talking about anywhere from 2 all the way up to 3 inches or more, even in the pinks, maybe 4 to 5 or even 6 or 7 inches according to this Euro model. Just even take a closer look at the accumulated precipitation forecast for Jamaica. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS, they're both showing all the rainfall expected from now up until Thursday, December 5. But clearly the Euro is a bit more robust, especially across northeastern parishes, heading into Portland where we have the highest elevations. We see the purples represent up to 271 millimeters of rainfall. We see the reds, we see the pinks, we see the oranges spilling into portions of St. Mary and St. Anne as well. GFS not so robust as yet, but these models could change. They change every 6 hours, so maybe it might cave to what the Euro is showing. We could definitely get even more rainfall across sections of Portland, St. Mary, and St. Anne as we start to get affected by that frontal system around the first week of December. And I'll definitely be here to keep you posted with what happens if God's willing. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see the high pressure ridge right here across the northern portion of North Atlantic that we know is responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. We can see the broken orange lines to the west of the island of Jamaica right here, associated with the trough. So this just came out. Alright, this came out at 1:18 UTC. That's 1 p.m. today, and we still have that trough to the west of us. All of the easterly flow across the island in general. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, here we go. All of the easterly flow across the island in general is definitely being slammed right into the wall. That is the trough, which explains all of the clouds, the showers, and thunderstorms that we're being plagued with as we speak. Look at all of this across the island. Lots of clouds, showers, and thunderstorms, especially across sections of some central and eastern parishes today for sure. And there's a lot more where that came from that could affect portion of the island tonight into tomorrow. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can also make out the low-level flow. We can see those low-level patches of clouds pushing from east to west across the main development region into the Caribbean. You can see all of the clouds associated with the trough, still affecting portions of eastern Cuba, the southern Bahamas, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and even portions of Central America, Costa Rica, Panama, and Colombia too. The usual afternoon thunderstorms, northeastern South America getting in some amount of rainfall from the intertropical convergent zone. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Thursday, November 28, 2024. It was stated that parts of eastern Jamaica would have received morning rainfall and then would have had some afternoon rainfall across sections of some northern and western parishes. And We know eastern parishes. We're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And you know that when we're referring to northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. And what ended up happening? As early as 8 a.m., the Cuban Doppler radar images were posted. Now, we know Cuban Doppler radar, we're talking about the actual rainfall as opposed to the satellite images that can show the cloud cover. And the Doppler radar images, as we know, in the green showed the moderate rainfall, the yellow showed the heavy rainfall. And we saw that across sections of St. Thomas, Portland. Some of the rainfall was definitely affecting portion of Clarendon, spilling into sections of St. Elizabeth. And then we saw what took place. Even some of the rainfall came in from the southeast to affect sections of St. Catherine. Portmore definitely got on some of the action. So too did section of Kingston and St. Andrew. And then as the day progressed at around 8:55 a.m., the infrared satellite image was posted on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica. By the way, I'd like for you to keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but they're also made on our Instagram page at weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we saw the cloud cover, we saw the deep convection, mainly across sections of some southern and eastern parishes. We're talking about St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. We definitely had the cloud cover, if not some amount of a rainfall for sure. And then the infrared satellite image was posted at around 11:50 a.m., highlighting the thunderstorm clouds all across the waters to the east of the island as well, to the south of Haiti. Definitely getting in on the bad weather out there to see. And we highlighted that much more of this would continue to come into portion of the island, and so it did, because at around 2:30 p.m. the Cuban Doppler radar images were posted, and they were highlighting that we're still getting played with a lot of rainfall across sections of some southern and eastern parishes. And we also got that rainfall across sections of some northern and western parishes too. We saw some of the rainfall leaving or exiting Hanover and section of maybe Trelawney as well. But we're getting plagued with some heavy rainfall across sections of Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, as well as sections of St. Thomas for sure. And we even went live. So for those of you who missed the live stream, it's up on our YouTube channel. But that doesn't stop us from still posting videos like this, even although it's going to be a bit late tonight. My apologies. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can make out the clouds that exited Hanover right there, section of St. James, Trelawney, and the clouds that were affecting portions of central and eastern Jamaica too before we started to lose the sunlight. If we take a look at the infrared satellite images, we can make out those clouds exiting Hanover and pushing towards the northwest. We saw the sparkling white dots, we saw the thunderstorms that were affecting portions of Hanover, section of Trelawney, not necessarily St. James, but definitely Trelawney for sure, got on some of the northern and western parishes activity for the afternoon, the daytime heating rainfall, while the rainfall from the trough definitely lashed portions of central and eastern parishes for sure. And we definitely have confirmation right here. See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing the flatbridge camera at around 1:42 p.m. They were getting in on some amount of light to moderate rainfall. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that when it comes to these live streams showing flatbridge, showing halfway tree crossroads, Kingston Harbor, guys, it's all right there, free for your viewing pleasure. All you have to do is to just go over to YouTube and type in See Jamaica or type in Halfway Tree or Crossroads Live, and you will see these live streams. You can definitely see that we were getting some amount of rainfall, definitely soaked across the flat bridge at around 1:43 p.m. for sure today. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture for we had the rainfall today, mainly across eastern and central parishes, and the afternoon rainfall that section of Trelawney, section of Hanover, maybe even portion of St. James might have picked up on as well. But I'm pretty sure that the rainfall was a bit more than this, especially in my area of St. Thomas, where we definitely got some flooding, some tremendous flooding at that. There was a river in my area that I haven't seen so high in a long time. I haven't seen it that high in a long time. So that must have been a lot of rainfall today when I was in Kingston. And we definitely have the comments here coming in from our followers or subscribers on our YouTube page. We had Sharon Johnson 2041 stating St. Elizabeth, light rain all day, cloudy. Warren Barton 5374, heavy rain Portmore. Lincoln Saharan 2923, light rain for 3 hours, morning stop. Rain start again 2 p.m. and still falling at 3:24 p.m. light. No heavy rain as of yet, still waiting for that heavy flooding rain for Kingston. We also have Novelet Imgrams stating 3438 stating Manchester really getting a lot of rain. Shelmar 834 stating falling about 2 hours. And we even have some of the comments coming in here on our Instagram page. You had buckle_lifetime_forever, non-stop rain from morning, Panton Giavon, Spanish Town, rain. And we even had the ODPM highlighting what the meteorological service has stated, that a flash flood warning was issued and it was effective from 5 p.m. this evening, and it's going to be effective until Friday, November 29 until 5 p.m. So we see that they've issued a flash flood warning for sections of eastern and south central parishes. You know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. So Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, and more than likely central parishes. We're talking about Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine, because those are on the southern and the central sides of the island. So those are the areas that they're stating the flash flood warnings for, while the remainder of the island, other parishes that were not mentioned, are still under a flash flood watch. So we could still get in on some of the action. And we even had the ODPM basically giving us the definitions for all of those in case you don't know. It states here, a flash flood warning remains or means flooding has been reported or will occur shortly. Motorists and pedestrians should not attempt to cross flooded roadways or other low-lying areas as strong currents are likely. Residents in low-lying areas should be on the alert for rising waters and be ready to move quickly to higher ground. And they've also highlighted the definition for flash flood watch. It states here, a flash flood watch means that flash flooding is possible and residents are advised to take precautionary measures. Keep informed by listening to further releases from the Meteorological Service and be ready for quick action if flooding is observed or if a warning is issued. And they also highlighted on TVJ News' Instagram page the flooding that took place on the Yallas Pond main road in St. Thomas. Definitely flooded. I live near there. Definitely gotten on the heavy rainfall for sure across my section of St. Thomas. Lots of inundation either way, guys. Remember to turn around, don't drown. These vehicles are not invincible. They can definitely shut off and embarrass you, leave you astray. Imagine you're there with the vehicle shut off in the middle of the road and the rainfall intensifying. And then you know what happened next? Flooding even more. And that's how people get swept away and then end up dying or whatever the case may be. So we always have to be vigilant, turn around, don't drown. We also highlighted this video from This Is a Blast, highlighting some amount of flooding that took place across Second of St. James. If you're not already following this page, you need to. They always highlight some very important things across the island in general. And see if any updates were made. Anything new? Okay, no. And even some flooding footage from Jamaica and Métis and Groupie Pink Wall across Old Harbour. We see the inundation on the road for sure. Definitely got in on some amount of flooding there too. Let's see if anything new is out. Alright, doesn't seem like it. Alright, so if we take a look at the very latest still image, let's see what's happening across the island right now. Alright, so the very latest still image is as of 0135 UTC, so that's as of 8:35 p.m. So this just came out 8 minutes ago, considering that it's 8:43 p.m. right now. We can see that it's kind of starting to clear out in a sense in terms of the high cold cloud tops. but we still have some cloud cover across the island for sure. Doubt you're seeing any skies if you're living in central and eastern parishes. Mainly western parishes, you might be seeing the sky, but we can see that that's going to change. We see some clouds right here to the southwest, and we know all of that is being pushed off towards the east northeast by the upper level wind shear. All of those high cold clouds pushing in. Don't think it's rainfall. Maybe rainfall is to the southwest of us, but all of that is being pushed off to the east northeast. So more than likely it's just going to be bringing the clouds. If we take a look at the very latest Cuban Doppler radar images to match it, we can make out that rainfall to the southwest of us. So I'm guessing these rain bands are what's causing the clouds to be streaming to the east northeast. You can also make out some rainfall right there across sections of St. Thomas, Portland. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that this is as of the latest that just came out at 8:30 p.m. So we're very up to date with the Cuban Doppler radar. I just heard some rainfall outside in my portion of St. Thomas. Definitely seeing the greens that represent rainfall across St. Thomas, section of Kingston, St. Andrew, and sections of Portland right now for sure. And if we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban Naval Radar Imagery, as a matter of fact, let's reload it. So now we have the very latest. We can definitely see that rainfall in between Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. Lots of rainfall right here. Lots of rainfall affecting portions of the eastern portion of Cuba as well as the western peninsula of Haiti. If we take a look at the latest Cayman radar, we can make out some amount of rainfall, especially to the southeast of the Cayman Islands. We see the blues, the greens, the yellows represent some light to moderate to heavy rainfall for sure. Nothing affecting the Cayman Islands right now, or even western Jamaica. We see all of that is being pushed off towards the west. If we take a look at the latest Barbican cam, we can see that nothing is happening. Well, they're definitely getting some light rainfall, not nothing. We can see the water droplets and the in the puddles right here in the middle of the road. We can see this vehicle right here, the windshield wipers on. So they're definitely getting in on some amount of light to slightly moderate rainfall across Barbican as we speak. The latest is as of 2045, and we know that's military time for 8:45 Jamaica time. So this is 1 minute delaying in general. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can still have 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Friday, temperature should be down to about 24 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. Could be lower than that, could be higher than that. We just always have to have our thermometers with us just in case we want the most accurate temperature readings. If we take a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Friday. When calculated, that's about 1 p.m. on Friday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some yellows and some slight oranges. That represents 1 to maybe up to close to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. So the temperatures are starting to get back up there. And we know the average temperatures for the month of November across Jamaica are around 88 degrees Fahrenheit. When 88 degrees Fahrenheit is calculated or changed to Celsius, that's about 31.1 degrees Celsius. So it should be receiving anywhere from 31, maybe close to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Friday. And we know the temperatures can definitely be exacerbated, can even be worse, especially if we don't have electricity to power our fans or to power our ACs to keep us cool. And that could be the case for these areas that the JPS, that's the Jamaica Public Service, the power company in Jamaica, telling us that there are going to be maintenance outage advisors in Bottom Paisley, that's in Trelawney, on Friday, November 29, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. We also have maintenance outage advisors for Boundbrook Road in Portland on Friday, November 29, from 8:30 to 5 p.m. We also have maintenance outage advisors for Clark Castle in St. Mary for Friday, November 29, anytime from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And finally, we have lots of maintenance outage advisors for these areas in Manchester on Friday, November 29. We're talking about Battersea Road, Battersea Mews, Antenna CLS, Badminton TRC, Julie Drive, Tangerine Drive, Pangola CLS. We have Port View Drive, Ingleside Drive, Strawberry CLS, East Ingleside, Kirkbine, I believe that's Terrace, and Environs. So many areas in Manchester going to be experiencing power outages between 9 and 3 p.m. So if you live in those areas, or if you have friends or relatives who live or work in those areas, ensure that you let them know what's coming. Power outages coming their way. We know these power outages can make the temperatures feel even worse. That's if we're not being plagued somewhere by the trough and it's rainfall to keep our temperatures down. And in order to beat the heat, you know the drill. Always dress down. It's Friday. Dress down. Wear lightweight clothing and use sunscreen. Check on others, including children, elderly people with medical conditions, and pets. Be cool. Stay indoors and make use of fans and air conditioners. It also states here, avoid alcohol and caffeine as they can make hydration worse. Limit non-essential strenuous activity during the hottest parts of the day. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to stay hydrated throughout the day. Even if you're not thirsty, drink the water. Some people have so many illnesses and they don't even realize that it's because of the heat, or it's because they're not drinking enough water as to why they are sick. Drink a lot of water throughout the day. I suggest at least 4 bottles of the normal size of water per day. That's what I do every day. So you should do the same. If you don't like water, you know the type of water you like. Drink it all the live long day. It's good for you. Alright, if we take a look at the dry air map, we can see right here that the Caribbean is still getting a lot of moist air. We have the lack of dry air across the Caribbean. We know the dry air is represented by the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and what's within those reds. We have dry air across the Western Caribbean. We have dry air across the Gulf of Mexico, the waters of the Northern Bahamas, and the east coast of the United States. We also have dry air across the main development region. And we know the moist air is what fuels all of the rainfall in our area, and we're definitely getting a lot of rainfall for sure. But regarding the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Friday, we can see the browns represent the Saharan dust stretching all the way from Africa across the southern main development region. Some of it seeping into portion of northeastern South America, but we're indeed grateful that the majority of the vigorous plume as represented by the darkest browns are right there closer to Africa than anything else. And the more west it goes, the more it dwindles. That's what we like to see. And we see Jamaica over here in the clear, North America, the Bahamas, the Caribbean in general, most of South America, and Central America in the clear for 2 p.m. on Friday. No Saharan dust. In terms of the wave forecast, we can see the waves being represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom. The light shades of blues, we're talking about 0 to 0.5 meter wave height. The blues, we're talking about 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights. And clearly that's going to be the case for Jamaica, into the Eastern and Western Caribbean, 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are going to be averaging anywhere from 10, maybe up to 20 knots at most. And we see the general flow of the winds from the east, definitely from the east across the entire Caribbean, maybe hitting that wall that is the trough of low pressure across the Western Caribbean. And in terms of the winds across the island of Jamaica, look at what we see here. Definitely more so in lieu of an easterly flow. Look at the flow, easterly on the south coast, kind of east southeasterly ish on the north coast. Either way, whatever happens is for some amount of afternoon or rainfall if we get the sunshine to cause the daytime heating, especially across sections of some central and western parishes in Jamaica. So look out for that. If we don't get more rainfall tonight coming in from the east across sections of some central and eastern parishes, look for some more rainfall across sections of some central and western parishes. And with the upper level wind shear still coming in from the west southwest, it could definitely favor more rainfall across sections of some, well, not only northern parishes, but sections of some southern parishes too. And if we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps now, these maps are where we're actually here. This is what we want to see. When and where the rainfall is expected tomorrow. Well, we see that for 12 a.m., that's midnight tonight, we still are going to be plagued by some amount of rainfall according to the Euro. We see the blues across southern Jamaica, eastern Jamaica. We're talking about southern Manchester, southern Clarendon, southern St. Catherine, St. Thomas, Portland. And I think we could say that we're already getting on some of that, considering the latest Cuban Doppler radar image as of 8:30. As a matter of fact, let's reload it, because so much talking, it's definitely updating. Alright, so 8:50, we see the greens, southern Clarendon. We see the greens, St. Thomas, Portland, section of St. Andrew as well. We're talking about moderate rainfall, so I guess it's already coming to fruition. according to the latest Euro. The latest GFS showing something similar with the darkest blues across southern Clarendon, St. Andrews, Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, but it's trying to incorporate portions of central and western Jamaica. Not so much on the Euro though for midnight tonight. Skipping ahead now to about 6 a.m. on Friday. We see the Euro having the rainfall to the east of the island, while more whites than anything else across the island, which indicate no rainfall for 6 a.m. But the GFS has the rainfall across sections of some southern and eastern parishes. We'll see if that actually unfolds. Skipping ahead now to about 10 a.m. We see the Euro starting to incorporate sections of some eastern, central, and even sections of some western parishes with some of that rainfall. The GFS still more so concerned with southern and eastern Jamaica for 10 a.m. Skipping ahead to 4 p.m. now, we see the consensus for rainfall, especially across sections of some western parishes. That's where we see it the most, even although we see some dots of blues across sections of some central eastern parishes. We'll see if that actually unfolds. Then we see that by 9 p.m. both the Euro and the GFS models still have some rainfall in and around portions of the island. We'll see exactly how that goes. Either way, both accumulated precipitation forecast maps are showing rainfall somewhere across the island within the next 24 hours. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall expected from now up until 3 on Saturday. That's all the rainfall expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Friday. And we can see the GFS showing the heaviest of the rainfall across eastern Jamaica, with the reds, the burgundies, represents up to 1.56 inches, 1.21 inches, Portland 1.56 in St. Thomas. On the Euro, it's up to 1.25 in St. Thomas, 1.2 in Clarendon. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Either way, we'll take it to cool down the temperatures, not necessarily cause flooding or problems for people. We know that rainfall is definitely a good thing, as long as we don't get too much all at once. We know we just wanted to keep the temperatures down and to keep water in our pipes. And we can see that in terms of the rainfall that we usually receive during the month of November, in Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 50 millimeters of rainfall. That's 2 inches of rainfall for the month. In Montego Bay, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the bottom, we usually receive up to 5 inches of rainfall for the month of November. That's around 125 millimeters of rainfall. So clearly Montego Bay gets more rainfall than Kingston in general. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your parish receives throughout the year in terms of rainfall, you can visit weatherandclimate.com and they'll show you that information. And you can use this nice little graphic right here that I got from the Hurricane Center's website that converts rainfall from inches to millimeters. You know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall, so you can do the math yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus your attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see some clouds across portion of the eastern Caribbean, maybe some overcast skies, if not some isolated shores. Section of Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, definitely getting some rainfall. So too section of Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, eastern Honduras, as well as sections of Jamaica, eastern Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and the southern Bahamas. And if we take a look at the northeastern Caribbean's Doppler radar imagery, let us see what's happening over there near Puerto Rico. Not seeing much happening across Puerto Rico, but we can definitely make out some isolated shores to the northeast of the Dominican Republic. Some rainfall in and around Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda to the east of Guadeloupe. If we load these images from earlier today, we can see that from 3 p.m. we were getting in some rainfall to the east of the Leeward Islands. We can also make out some rainfall to the south of Martinique, affecting sections of St. Lucia. Some rainfall affecting sections of maybe St. Vincent too. Not seeing much across Grenada, but maybe the northern Grenadine Islands. Scrolling down, we can make out some rainfall across portion of Tobago, some rainfall into Trinidad. And if we take a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we can make out that rainfall to the west of Jamaica on the Cayman radar, as well as some amount of rainfall right there in and around Trinidad and Tobago. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Friday. And we can see the heaviest of the rainfall still to be around Jamaica, around Costa Rica and Panama as well, while we have some other rainfall for portions of the Bahamas, eastern Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, section of Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis. We're talking about eastern Puerto Rico, that is. St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bart, Guadeloupe, Dominica. You can also see rainfall in store for portions of Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada. Some rainfall in store for portions of maybe Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, southern Venezuela, western Venezuela, sections of maybe the ABC Islands, sections of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, and maybe some isolated shores into portions of southern Belize and northeastern Guatemala. I know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.